Tina Turner's personal life is about an ordinary girl who became a legend, but always had a big, kind heart. Let's remember all the men who played an important role in her personal life. Welcome to the Top Art Legends. Let's get started. Harry Taylor. The first in this story of her personal life was Harry Taylor. They met in 1954 during a basketball game. Harry was a player on the Carver High School team, while Turner was a cheerleader at rival Lauderdale High. The first time he entered my classroom, I thought, wow, I was totally crazy about Harry. I dreamed of him. I used to cut his photos from the school newsletter and quietly longed for more, the singer recalled. Turner always watched when Taylor played, and one day she asked her coach to tell Taylor to meet her, since she didn't dare to ask him herself. But when Taylor showed up, Tina wasn't there because she had run away. She noticed me first and asked one of our coaches if she could meet me. But when I went to see her, she had disappeared, Taylor recalled. But from Tina's side, it looked like this. When I saw him, my heart started beating so fast, I almost fainted. It was love at first sight. She continued, he looked like a god to me. He looked over at me, and I looked at him, and whew. To tell the truth, I wanted to go to bed with him right then and there, she admitted. Turner and Taylor met again after Tina enrolled at Carver High School, and eventually they started dating. Tina's first kiss was with Harry. He was also the one with whom the rock legend lost her virginity. One night, they went to a bar together with Tina's older sister, but since Tina was 17 and Harry was 18, they weren't allowed in, so they stayed in the car. This is how Tina recalled that evening. I was afraid, but Harry was very gentle and cautious. He did it very well. It was a beautiful moment, and I have fond memories of it. Taylor also spoke about that special moment in one of his interviews. Yes, we both did it for the first time. We had no experience. It was very exciting. We were so curious about how it would be, he said. I don't wanna lose you. While in Tennessee, Taylor and Turner often went to the movies or local ice cream parlors. Sometimes Taylor would convince his friend John to drive him to Turner's house on the farm in Nutbush, a small suburb near Brownsville. Tina and I would just sit on the porch and talk or listen to music. Because of the basketball, we saw each other the whole time. She would wear my school jacket or my ring or a basketball cap. We were quite romantic like that, Taylor remembered. But Harry started seeing other girls, and Tina broke up with him. Her boyfriend turned out to be a stereotypical playboy. Harry and I broke up because he started playing around. He started dating a girl named Teresa, and by the time he and I got back together, she had become pregnant, Turner told in a 1986 interview. Musician Raymond Hill. I thought everything was all right. The next man to capture her heart was Raymond Hill. They met in 1957. Tina became a fan of the band Kings of Rhythm after their performance at the Manhattan Club in East St. Louis, Illinois. But let me introduce my new Rocket 88. She quickly became friends with the musicians and started dating Raymond, the band's saxophonist, while she was in her senior year of high school. She soon became pregnant. I didn't know about abortion, and I wanted the baby. After my mother found out, I went to stay with Raymond. We don't need another hero. And in 1958, she gave birth to his son, Raymond Craig. Their relationship ended after Raymond broke his leg and had to return to his hometown before the baby was born. But he never came back to see his birth or to be a father to him. He simply disappeared from Tina's and her newborn son's lives. Musician Ike Turner. The next love, and at the same time a great pain in Tina's heart, was Ike Turner. They began dating in 1959. The following year, their first single as Ike and Tina Turner was released, which sold over 1 million copies. After releasing their debut album in 1961, Ike and Turner got married in Mexico and then moved to Los Angeles. Their joint music career was an incredibly successful project. She said, Ike took care of everything: the sound, the band, hiring people, management, and money.
I saw Ike Turner for the first time, and I really wanted to sing with him for a very long time, but I didn't look the part. It was incredible.
She was expected to do tasks like making breakfast for the band at 4 a.m. Later in the marriage, Tina found strength in studying and practicing Buddhism, but the physical abuse from Ike only worsened. When Ike saw me chanting, she said, the veins in his face popped out. He didn't want to hear about anything that would give me power. Tina recalled that he could help anyone in need or in trouble, but in return, you owed him your life. He never gave anything for free. When he forced her to change her name from Anna Mae Bullock to Tina Turner, she responded, I didn't want to change my name. Then, according to her memories, this happened. First, he was verbally abusive. Then, he picked up a wooden shoe stretcher. Ike knew what he was doing. If you play guitar, you never use your fists in a fight. He used the shoe stretcher to strike me in the head, always the head, she continued. I was so shocked I started to cry. Ike ordered me to get on the bed. I hated him at that moment. The very last thing I wanted to do was make love, if you could call it that. When he finished, I laid there with a swollen head, thinking, you're pregnant and you have no place to go. You really have gotten yourself into something now. After that, Tina went to a doctor who prescribed her sleeping pills because she had trouble sleeping. That evening, after dinner, she took the entire bottle of pills. I was unhappy when I woke up, she wrote in her book, but I came out of the darkness believing I was meant to survive.
I was trying to help him from the beginning when he told me about his life and how hard it was for him to get a career going. And I promised him that I would never leave him. And I actually stayed because of that promise. But then it got to the point where it became really bad, really bad.
Tina ran away from Ike on July 1st, 1976, while the couple was on tour and staying at the Statler Hilton Hotel in Dallas. Ike beat her the entire way from the airport to the hotel. Tina recalled in an interview, by the time we got to the hotel, the left side of my face was swollen like a monster's. At the hotel, Tina said, I massaged him and cooed, can I order you any food, dear? Then he made the mistake of going to sleep. With only 36 cents and a credit card, Tina ran away, fleeing along the highway to another hotel.
I just left the hotel and went out the kitchenway and down to the freeway, actually. And I remember something. During that time, I didn't measure the speed of a car, and I was running across the freeway, and this big truck was coming. And it went, rah, rah, and it felt like it was over me. And I thought, well, I won't try that again. But I had to cross that freeway to actually get to the hotel across from where we were working.
A friend bought her a plane ticket home to Los Angeles, and she left Ike's life behind. I felt proud, Tina told. I felt strong. The divorce, I got nothing. No money, no house, she recalled in 1986. So I said, I'll just take my name.
He kept everything. He always said, when you leave, you will leave like you came. Right?
Wow. In her memoirs, Tina wrote, he threw hot coffee in my face, giving me third-degree burns. He used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could taste blood running down my throat when I sang.
You know, life, I have to say, was great after I left Ike. Even though I had no money, the kids and I were struggling, but the fact that I was out of that hell.
Rock musician Mick Jagger.
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my...
Turner and Mick Jagger first met at a Rolling Stones concert in the late 60s.
When I first toured with him in 68, 66 was the first time, and then in 68, we were all there in the dressing rooms, and Mick mingles a lot. And he just sort of barged in the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
And we just said, he said, I like to watch you girls dance. And we sort of just poning around in the dressing rooms, you know? And
that was my first introduction. I didn't know who he was, Turner said. In 1981, there were even rumors of a romance between them during the Rolling Stones tour.
And Roger rang to tell me that Mick invited me to sing the Michael Jackson song. I just screamed. I just jumped up and screamed. I felt finally, I mean, we get to really do it without our own bands just right there. I was so excited.
However, the rumors remained just that, and Tina and Mick stayed friends. Just a month before her death, Tina confessed that she always had a crush on Jagger.
What's it like standing with Mick Jagger? Are you kidding? I mean, you are talking about legend. Forget about the people that says, but Tina, you're a legend. Fine, great. I'm talking about something else now. I'm talking about my excitement to be there with Mick and to actually... We're alike in that sense. I mean, we have so much attitude. I mean, we can play off of each other, know what we are doing, and just laugh at ourselves. There's a communication there that you can't touch.
Over the years, Mick denied that he took his moves from Tina and even wrote about it in his 2009 book, According to the Rolling Stones. "She always says I did," he writes. "But she's a woman and the movement involved is totally different." Turner, however, told a different story. "Mick wanted to dance, and I was a dancer, but he never gave me the credit. He said his mother taught him how to dance." She told.
Actually, it was like influence, because when I first toured with him in '66, he was just doing the tambourine and sort of beating it. And the next time I saw him, he was doing the pony and sort of moving it. You know, I was like, oh. So I didn't really teach him. I just think he was influenced by the girls and I.
Yeah.
When Tina passed away, Mick posted a very heartfelt message. "She was truly an enormously talented performer and singer," Jagger's post reads. "She helped me so much when I was young, and I will never forget her." Rock musician David Bowie.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
David claimed for years that Tina was his favorite artist. They finally met at a New York party in 1983. In 1984, David suggested that Tina collaborate with him on the single Tonight, and she agreed.
She's incredibly sexy on stage. She's one of the few people that when you work with on stage, doesn't lose her realness. I mean, like...
Tina invited David to perform duets of Tonight and Let's Dance with her during the British leg of her private dancer tour in 1985. According to Tina's assistant and close friend Eddie Hampton, whom we will discuss later, David did not hide his true desires from Tina. She told me David had already told her many times, "I want you." "I arrived to see their sound check on stage and they were teasing each other," he revealed in an interview.
There's some people that you can work with on stage, and when you're with them, there's a coldness in the eyes, and you know they're not really there with you, but when she's working you with it, it's really kind of, you know.
Later, they went back to the hotel and had the sushi. The next morning, I went to Tina's room and she was acting really strangely. She said, "Oh my God, David is so naughty." Tina told Eddy, "He went to have a shower, then he walks out, stark naked, wearing one of my spare wigs. He started singing Rolling on the River and was dancing just like me." He was one of only a few lucky men who won over Tina. Former confidant Eddie Hampton Armani. Armani's admiration for Tina began in 1964 when he was a child.
Yes, I was 12 years old when I first met Tina, finally, but I was a fan from the age of 6.
Later, in the 70s, he became her personal assistant and wardrobe manager.
Yes, I was the #1 original fanatic fan of Tina Turner's. I was so able to develop a relationship with this incredible, talented woman. I mean, I watched the way she walked, the way she talked, the way she sang, the way she held her head.
He toured the world with his idol, cooked for her, made wigs, and lived with her for over a year in the 80s in Sherman Oaks. Their connection evolved into a deep friendship. When she laughed, he laughed too. He finished her sentences, and she finished his, he recalls. "When I was told Tina died, I froze and went numb. I did not shed a tear. I haven't let it sink in because I was in denial. I screamed in the most horrendous voice, 'No, no, no, no,'" says Armani, holding back tears. Despite not communicating for almost 30 years, His love for her never stopped. Producer Erwin Bach. The last and true love of Tina Turner's life was Erwin Bach. Turner and Bach met in 1985 at Düsseldorf Airport, Germany. Bach had been sent by EMI to meet the singer after her arrival.
I walked out of the airport, and this really unusual-looking man, very young, pretty-faced, stepped out from behind a column and said, "Hello." I had no idea who he was. I wasn't even expecting anyone to meet us. And so Roger said, "Tina, you ride with Erwin, and we'll take this car," because there was a Jeep, a German Jeep that I wanted, and Erwin brought the Jeep to the airport. So I was to have the surprise of the Jeep, but the surprise was a man. But he didn't know it.
He was another kind of handsome. He was an unusual-looking man, great eyes. So I got in the car with Erwin, and my heart was boo-bum already. My hands were wet, and I thought, oh my God, this is love at first sight, she recounted. Their relationship began that same year. Falling in love with my husband, Erwin, was another exercise in leaving my comfort zone, of being open to the unexpected gifts that life has to offer, Turner wrote in Happiness Becomes You, a guide to changing your life for good. Although the couple was deeply in love, Tina didn't dare to give marriage a second chance. Bach proposed twice before, and only on the third time she agreed. Marriage says ownership. I didn't want that my anything anymore. I had enough of that.
You know, I just don't feel a relationship has to be based on marriage, especially these days. It's not something I need. I think I have the option that whenever I'm ready, I can have that, but it would just be making it legal because we are as bound to each other.
And love's got a lot to do.
Still, after 27 years together, they got married in 2013 in Switzerland in a civil ceremony. Just a few days later, Turner and Bach hosted a lavish party with celebrities at their lakeside estate in Switzerland. Among the 120 guests were Oprah Winfrey, Giorgio Armani, and David Bowie. And the couple's home was decorated with 70,000 red and yellow roses from the Netherlands. Only 3 weeks after the wedding, Tina suffered a stroke, and in 2016, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. After treatment, she faced some unpleasant side effects and decided to try homeopathic remedies, which only worsened her condition. Soon, she developed complete kidney failure. Bach donated one of his own kidneys to her.
What it will do is provide you with a cleanser for the body until we find a kidney for you. Erwin said to the doctors, "Can I give her one of mine?" Something similar to this. I wasn't there. And then he found out that he doesn't need 2 kidneys. So then he came to me and said, "Tina, you don't have to make this decision now. I can give you one of my kidneys."
Tina recalled, "At this terrible moment of guilt and self-recrimination, I learned something wonderful about Erwin. He never reproached me for my mistake. Instead, he was loyal, kind, and understanding, and determined to help me get through all this alive." The operation took place in 2017 and was mostly successful. Back in 1995, they moved to live in Switzerland, and in 2013, Tina renounced her American citizenship.
Where is your home these days?
Switzerland.
You're happy in Switzerland?
Oh, yes. I like it because it's very clean. I think it's healthy. And people kind of leave me alone to a point. I mean,
is there a pressure? Like when you're living in America, is there a pressure on Tina Turner? Are people leaning on you and expecting you to be out there all the time, buzzy?
Well, it's kind of expected. I think people think that I'm the person that I am on stage. I promise you I'm not.
"I was just tired of singing and making everybody happy," she told, and added, "I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't dress up." In October 2021, Turner sold her music rights, as well as the rights to her image, name, and likeness, to the publishing company BMG. That simple first meeting led to a long, beautiful relationship, and my one true marriage, Tina said. The Queen of Rock and Roll passed away at the age of 83 in 2023 after a long illness at her home in Küsnacht, Switzerland.
You're simply the best.
Thank you for watching this video. See you later on the Top Art Legends.